with you experiencing the love that Christ has shown you, it is then making you get that feeling, that urge, that call to go to that park. We were talking about this the other night. It's not a coincidence. God placed you two there at that perfect time in history. Out of all the years, out of all the time, out of all the places in the world, right there at that time. And maybe she takes absolutely nothing away from it, but maybe she does. And that's the thing. Maybe she does.
And that's the hope, is that any small interaction like that could be a huge difference in someone's life.
Well, good for you, dude. That's the Great Commission right there.
Like, I'm not like trying to seek praise, but more of just like a push to you guys.
No, but remember, taking praise is humility. Remember? Oh, I got you. Cheese trap. Tree trap. He ate the cheese. Or mouse trap, not cheese trap. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
Trap
I can't
you have there.
dude.
Cheap trap.
Trapping your crap or something. I don't know.
Sure.
And we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Campfire Council podcast. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate all of you. Today with us on the council, we have Brandon, Milo, Joey's, Wes, and myself, Luke. Man, we had a great fourth. We ended up going to the Dells area for Brandon's bachelor party. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We had a lot of fun with that. We got Brandon getting married next month. That's going to be huge. Wow. We also have our good friend Aiden and Grace's wedding tomorrow. That's super exciting.
True.
And Noah, who isn't able to be here with us, he is actually going to be flying out to Mexico tomorrow for a missions trip. So that's super exciting. We're excited to see how that goes. And it's going to be a good time. We got a lot to look forward. But Joyce, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
When was the last time Aiden was on the podcast?
Eggnog episode.
Eggnog.
Episode
All right,
3,
so go back and watch
We
the
were
eggnog.
cracking open
So
magazines.
Aiden for context.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're going to be talking about love. So there's a couple different things that I want to talk about, but before we get into it, I just want to say to all the people that are watching, it doesn't matter what you've done in your life, who you are, straight, gay, black, yellow, white, it doesn't matter. Jesus loves you. And that's the message that we're trying to portray in our podcast. I can speak on behalf of all of us. It's just that love is very important in this world. We all deserve it. We all need it. And we'll just jump right into it then.
I'm yellow. Shout out to the Asian nation.
To the Asian nation, you said? Nice. All right. First question, folks, is what is love? Really simple. So just the first thing that you guys think of when you think of love. What is love? Brandon, don't hurt me.
Let me get out these notes.
I'm sorry. I had to make that joke at some
Come on.
point.
Well, yeah.
That's
You
the
did.
first thing I think of.
Anyone go?
I would say just I was thinking about this the other day for the questions that were kind of brought up is I would say the first thing is love is genuine. I think love is very genuine.
That's my favorite word.
It is a good word, just genuine. Love is genuine. Love is forgiving. Love is merciful. And what was the other word I had? I had unconditional. I'd say would be a big one. Just whatever's going on, through the ups and downs, you continue to love that person. You continue to support them, be there for them, and just have their back.
Well said. Brandon?
Did you have 1 Corinthians in your lineup?
Dude, no.
Because that's
I have whatever this other book has.
the perfect example of what love is. And I'll pull it up for you right now.
Let's hear it.
Look at that. It's already up.
Is this one of those where you tell the viewers, now follow along, open up your Bibles to page?
Yeah. Read out loud, please. And wherever you are, stand up. I don't care if you're driving. Pull over and stand up. All right, all rise. So everyone probably knows this verse. Everyone's probably heard this one, but I feel like this pretty much just sums up the expectations of what love is supposed to be. This is from the book 1 Corinthians. Paul is writing to the church of Corinth, and it says, starting at verse 4, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. And I think there's so many things from that that can be taken away. I think a big one for me, excuse me.
That was a little baby burp.
I know, that was
Someone
a tiny one. I
just
was
pat
trying
your
not
back
to.
over there.
I was trying not to,
He's
Someone
got
burp that
to be
baby.
burped. Yeah,
yeah.
it's burping time.
It's wearing a bib.
It keeps no record of wrongs. I think that's a huge one. I think it's so easy for us to get caught up in the things that people have done to us in the past and different ways that they've hurt us. And I think it's kind of inevitable that there are going to be things that people do to us that we carry with us through the rest of our lives, and we replay certain situations in our heads. But I think the important thing and how we can still love those people is by praying over those situations, coming to people with those problems, and then ultimately just trying to understand that just because maybe those things hurt you, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. Like it just hurts because it was something that they said to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't currently love them. And sometimes it's from a distance, maybe that's an old friend or old family member that maybe you're now disconnected from, that you're just not in contact with anymore. But like, I don't know, no record of wrongs. I just think that's really
That's where
powerful.
the unconditional part comes in. Even if they hurt you, if they say something, they do something, or they don't do something, we still have to choose to get past that, be selfless. I know we talked about that a few episodes ago, just about like how you need to be selfless to forgive someone. And then through whatever's going on, you can unconditionally, and I know we're not perfect, we're not going to ever be able to fully love like Jesus does, but do our best to still continue to love them even though they hurt us.
Yeah. And then the next verse that's off of that kind of goes into humility, I think, is that love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Maybe there's a different Bible verse, but basically it's like it doesn't rejoice when other people fall. Maybe this isn't 1 Corinthians, but I think that's another one. I think it's so easy, like maybe with those people in the past that have hurt you, like it's easy for us to kind of rejoice when maybe something doesn't go well in their life that maybe we see like on social media or we hear about it from somebody.
So like when they're inside the circle putting for birdie, but then they foot fault. Right.
Where they
You
shank
understand.
their drive.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always rejoice when they shank their drive.
Yeah, there
Dude.
you go.
It's so funny.
Right.
That's so easy to caught up in, though. It's because, at least for me, I feel like, if I'm in the background and something happens bad to someone that I had a misfall with, I don't like, maybe at the time I hate, something like that, it feels so like we're not doing anything just by observing and, in a way, like rejoicing that they stumbled and they fell. And that's not good because, like it says in the verse, we shouldn't be rejoicing over their faults, their failures. Instead, we should be praying for them and loving them. But I'm guilty of it. It's not easy because we feel like we're not even doing anything, but we're doing. It's more so to ourselves. We're just kind of slowly going down a rabbit hole that is going to be harder to crawl out of.
Sure.
I just want to go back a little bit to the question of what is love. So in that verse, like love is patient, love is kind, and it's describing all these attributes of love. But so I've often wondered, can you really define love? Because like if you try to describe it, you end up using other words, which when you describe them, you kind of like go back to the definition of love. It's like what is patience? What is kindness? Ultimately, there's an aspect of love in those definitions too. So I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but I've often thought, like, what is the definition of love? One way I think that you can describe it is called an ostensive definition. So like an ostensive definition is when you point to something. So like, for example, if I were to ask you, what does the color blue look like?
Blue. Nice.
Okay. So how would you describe it to like a child?
Also blue.
Okay. But how do we teach
you
kids?
point.
You point to it.
You point to the light right there.
But could you describe it in other words?
No.
Mm-mm. Try describing.
It is the mixture between...
It's not that color.
Okay. So you describe what it's not, and then you can describe certain emotions that you might feel when you see blue, like it's
yes.
calm, or it's like It's
Uplifting.
not. It's uplifting.
Like
it's
the
not
ocean, the
angry.
sky.
If I said red, you might think, oh, it's a little angrier of a color. But ultimately, if you were to try to describe the color blue to a blind person, you wouldn't be able to describe what it's like to see blue by using other words. The only way to know what blue looks like is to actually experience it.
So you're drawing the comparison between those two of like love is an experience.
Yeah.
Over a,
Right.
yeah.
So I think, I don't think a robot could understand what love is.
Can AI understand love?
Yeah,
Maybe
I think only a conscious being can understand love, and you understand it in an experiential way. And then like in that verse, you're describing things that are like associated with it. You know, it's humble, it's patient, it's kind, or these other aspects. So I think go ahead.
No, sorry, finish it.
I was just gonna say, like, one way that I would try to describe what love is like that emotion that a parent feels for their child when they first meet their child. Like that has to be, as long as you're not like a psychopath or something like that, most parents are gonna feel an extreme amount of love for their child, especially like when they first meet their child, or along the life of their child. They're always going to have that feeling of love for their child. That would be like a good way, in my opinion, to define one aspect of love.
Well said.
That was good. That was very good. That's really good. Off of how you're kind of saying, like, if robots, can they experience love, or like AI? So do we think then that people are going to experience different types of love? So you could have, a child be raised in a really great home with loving parents, loving siblings. They got a good school to go to. They have a good support system. They have a church they're growing up with. They're going to experience what like a piece of Jesus is, what love is meant to be, right? But then on the other side, what happens? You have someone that's growing up with no parents, or they're an orphan, or they have parents that don't treat them well. They don't show what love should be like.
Yeah.
So now we're off of that. We're all going to have different ideas and what love should look like. And overall, we can have little, like you're saying, it's hard to describe love because like we're picking words from all over that describe different things, but we can kind of put together ideas of what love is. Even though at the end of the day, Jesus equals love. And that's kind of like the most simple way I can put it.
Yeah, we're like piecing it together.
Yeah, we're just trying to do our best of like what we're seeing.
My question then is like, so you're saying there are different forms of love. Do you think
ideas, like ideas what people are perceiving love as from what they have been.
Okay.
At their surroundings that have surrounded them in their childhood, their adulthood, their experiences.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's like, would you consider that almost as like an earthly kind of love?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wonder, like, no matter what experiences people go through, if like the way that Jesus's love is perceived is like the same, across anyone's life. I don't know if that makes sense as a question or if that's just a statement. I'm just kind of like, oh, but, oh. But you know what I'm like? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
kind of.
Like earthly love, I think can change between different seasons of life and in different environments. But I think the love of Jesus, no matter who you are or where you come from, the way that the Bible describes Jesus's love and just God's love is going to be the same, no matter who you are.
I get what you're saying. So an example is, we're all good friends. We love each other. I hope you guys love me.
No, we're not.
Do you love me?
Let's not get that personal.
I thought we were friends.
So for an example, like you're getting married. That's super exciting. So your love for Christina is going to be different. Right? So there's that kind of love. And then there's like the love we have for our parents. And then you can't make that face.
Hey, Wes. You're right. No, all jokes aside, yes, you're right.
So like there's gonna be different types of love that we experience.
I couldn't see Brandon's face, but I can imagine.
You know what he was doing.
It's horrible. It's the one thing I don't love about you.
Is that face?
You're off the podcast. Sorry, you're done. So there's gonna be different experiences of love. Like one day if we get married, maybe.
That's a big if.
We're gonna get there, guys. Together.
You will.
Okay.
The power of one, the power of many, right?
Oh, please.
Yeah. So there's me. We love our parents, in a different way. Kind of like back to a couple episodes, you're explaining how you love your dad in a different way than how you love us. It's like a different respect, a different love.
Yeah.
But for God, like you're saying, Jesus, he loves all of us the same, no matter what we have done, what we do. It's the same. We are going to have different relationships on our end with Christ, but that love is going to be same across the boards. Like you said, open up. No matter who you are, your background, how you identify yourself, how you live your life, like Christ loves you the same. And I just want to really hammer that in you. Like he loves you, and there's nothing that you can do that's going to remove yourself from his arms.
Preach.
So.
Also, the KJV version of 1 Corinthians is just wild.
Read
Is this what you're used to? Charity suffereth not. I mean, wait. Charity suffereth long.
I get why you
and
like it,
is
though.
kind.
I get why
Charity
you like it.
envieth not. Charity vainteth not itself.
Wow.
Can we
It's
record
just-
you for the entire
it's
Bible
so-
and I can just listen to every
Yeah,
verse?
should I send out my own
So
Bible version?
there's 4 different words for love in Greek that are used in the Bible.
Here we go.
hear 'em.
Eros, storge, philia, and agape. So this is kind of like what we're talking about here. So eros, that's romantic love, like erotic. It's like the same root word there. So eros would be the love that Brandon has for Christina. Okay, and then you got storge, which would be familial love. So that's like the love I have for my father, or you guys have for your parents.
Does that root word, does that come from family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Story. I don't know what.
Or
this-
the one you just said?
Storge or storge.
Oh, never mind. I thought
Yeah.
you said something with like family in it.
That it's familial love.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Familial love.
Right.
And then you got philia. Wait. Storge. Yes. Or sorry. Storge or storge is familial love. This is confusing. Philia is like friendship love. What's up? Why are you looking at me?
Nothing.
I hear a
Should we
little
not
puff
be?
and I hear.
I'm trying to rope it all together here.
Okay, all right. Philia is friendship love. That's the love that we have as friends here. And agape is godly love. That's that unconditional, unchanging type of love that God has for us. And I think that's pretty cool because we just use the same word love in English, but the Greeks, maybe it's why they were so good at philosophy. They had multiple words to describe the same aspect of, or the same idea of love, but applied to different relationships. But one of the cool things about God is that he's a Trinity. And this is actually one of the good arguments for the Trinity, in my opinion, is that God being the ground of love, the thing that is the definition of love, off of which we have a firm foundation for that definition. So the fact that love exists and we can find it is all in reference to God's nature. Okay. God has aspects of all 4 of these, like in his nature, because he's not just one person. God is 3 persons, one being. So he has all these types of relational types of love. Now, does God have like romantic love in the Trinity? I don't think we think about it as like romantic. It's not a romantic relationship.
Yeah, it really quick. It does describe though. He loves the church like
Yeah.
he loves a bride. I believe
Mhm.
is that.
It's
is that
it's an
correct?
intimacy.
Yeah,
it's an
but it's not like
intimacy.
I don't
No,
think
it's not like a romantic, like
Yeah.
a human level relationship, but it's like an intimacy that God loves all 3 persons of the Trinity, and loves us as well. So that's one of the. I think that's a great argument for the Trinity. There's other religions out there that don't believe that God is a Trinity. Well, I don't think that God could be the ground of love unless he was a Trinity. Because love is a relational reality. It's always about relation. It's always about I mean, yeah, you can love yourself, but you don't fully embody love unless you love someone else.
It's a good
Well said.
example.
I think for me, love is not really like a noun. It's more of a verb of like you need to actually be acting upon, what is love, right? So love is all of those things that you listed off of earlier in Corinthians. And I think it's just carrying out those different things. Because I think that in order to have love, you need to take, the steps, like daily. You need to make a daily choice to love someone, whether it's you're in a relationship, whoever it may be. You have to daily choose to love someone. So I think just what is love, is more of like a verb to me.
Like imagine waking up every single morning and having to live with these two guys. You got to try to love them.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
No, they are awesome. Two best roommates I could ever have, for sure, by far. It's a great time. But
yeah,
I like how you're saying it has to be backed up by action, because you could be in a relationship, you could have a friend, a family member, you say, I love you.
right. That's what I was going to.
But what are you doing to back up that statement?
Yeah. How are you showing?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to, I mean, is it acts of kindness? Is it, kind words?
Mm-hmm.
Are you supporting them? Are you helping them? Like, how are you showing that love? Also, really quick, it's almost, it annoys me a lot.
What boils your... Wait, Brandon,
Dude,
what did you say? Boils
this
your blood?
grinds my gears.
Grinds his
Oh,
gears.
Presses his buttons.
The amount, and I do this all the time, though, the amount people overuse the word love. Like, I love these Lego sets right there.
Oh, I see.
But you do love them. I
do, but do I?
No.
You
Or like,
really
I love
You kind of neglect them in the sense that you don't dust them.
I have in the past.
You're not showing your love.
Don't you come at me.
I'm checking the specs.
I'm checking
right
the specs
now.
too. I see a lot of dust.
No, you don't look at them. Look
Lot of
away.
dust
Look
specks.
away. It's just, yeah, like we use love all the time. Like, I love my job. I love that movie. Or what about you start dating someone and you have sex for the first time? You use the word I love you. Is that correct? Like,
Yeah.
is that love?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just lust?
Or is it just what we perceive from what the world is telling us and showing us through movies, through music, through our friends, our family, what we're reading, the news? And we perceive that as, if I do this, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And that then separates like what actual love is.
Yeah, like that example you're talking about. Would you be willing to spend the rest of your life with that person and, sacrifice being able to have other relationships with other people? Would you have children with this person? Would you take care of them when they're old and dying? Like, that's love. So you got to ask, like, if you just started dating or something like that and you say you love them, I think that's just the chemical in your brain.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird? Like when we're born, we naturally and automatically love like the people in our family,
Mm-hmm.
but then we have to like learn to love other people.
That's
Isn't
so
it?
hard.
Isn't it strange how you have to learn that and you have to like go through that process? But with your family, it's just like, you don't even think about it.
I think as long as your family builds up that trust when you're an infant, when you cry, they tend to your needs. Because I've learned
Right.
about in like nursing school, like I definitely agree with if you have a good family that like take care
saying
of
you have a good family.
right
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But
Perfect scenario.
what do you mean though by you have to learn to love later on? Are you just saying like love people that have like done you dirty and like you have to humble yourself to love them, or are you just saying like love in general?
Well, yeah, just like love in general. Like I'm not like someone just walking down the sidewalk. I don't like love them,
Joyce
but
just pushes them over.
Yeah.
But like I love them as a human, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like on that standpoint, that alone. But like
Okay.
I don't
So I feel
know
like you have to
anything about
You
them.
have to be able to know them and
Yeah.
get to know them or whatever before you actually feel
Right.
love towards them, I guess.
That's one of the revolutionary aspects of what Jesus taught too,
Say
because
you want
like
revolution.
all of human history shows that people don't naturally love strangers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the wars. Let's talk about the Mongols, as we
Yikes.
should.
Yeah, we should.
We should always be talking about
The Mongols.
What's
But
love? Sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead. I'm done.
Okay.
What's love? So like what Milo was saying, like to love somebody, you have to like sacrifice things. If you were to, like, say you're marrying somebody, you have to sacrifice like whatever it is, but God did the ultimate sacrifice because He loves us. It's true love. He sacrificed His only Son. Like, would you be willing to sacrifice like a family member because you love somebody so much? I don't think I would. Like, that'd be like very hard. But He sacrificed His Son for us, and like that's true love. So I guess we can like base our love kind of off that. Like, kind of, I guess not. I don't know if it would be to like that extent, because I don't think we'd really necessarily have to like sacrifice somebody to love somebody, but I guess like that's kind of like the level of love that we should be like looking towards for somebody. I guess we can take that as like the outline for love towards somebody.
Yeah. Wes is cooking.
He is cooking.
I smell something in the kitchen.
Yeah, dude, I think that whole thing of willing to sacrifice, there's actually a Bible verse that goes with that. This is actually Jesus talking in John 15. He's chapter 12. He says, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." And this kind of goes with the sacrifice. "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." And he kind of goes on to say, I always thought that Jesus loved us as almost like, kind of like a father or something, or like a mentor. But this verse kind of, when I found this when I was looking this up, it kind of changed the way I view it now. Because he says, "You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I've learned from my Father, I have made known to you." I think it's kind of interesting that he loves us, and Jesus at least viewed us as like a friend. And this is flesh Jesus, so this might be different.
More of like the human.
Yeah, right.
Because I think we do need to be. I agree with that. I think, like it says in the Bible, like He considers us our friends, but we need to be careful too, because He is
God.
He's God. That's literally like
He's the Almighty.
He's
not just
justfully wrathful,
Yeah.
and He's going to judge us one day according to our sins that we've committed and everything. And He does love us. I think an example, like I said, is as a friend, but He also loves us as the one true creator, like the God of the universe. And I don't really know how to describe that in perfect words, but it's just like a very, a powerful thing right there. So I think we need to be careful too. Like, He's not always just our buddy pal. He's way up here, and we're kind of, down here chilling. So just to kind of like put that in perspective. But
I just really like the verse. I forget what it is exactly. Just God is love. It's just very straight to the point. Just He is the definition of love, I guess. I don't know how to like how that actually is. Like, I can't like see it. I don't know. I don't see, like, it's not like a map to us. We don't know how to perceive it, I guess. But
how about
God
this?
is love.
I can break it down for you.
Okay.
God is love.
There we go. That's
There we
it.
go.
Point A to point
you got to
B.
break
There we
this
go.
down.
Yeah.
further.
Okay. One more
This is
time,
way
Brandon.
too
Can you break
complex.
this down for me?
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I was waiting for you.
No. I need you to break down my breakdown.
Love.
Whoa.
I don't know.
That's huge.
Are you talking about this verse? "We have come to know and to believe in the love God has for us. God is love, and whoever remains in love remains in God, and God in him."
Yeah, I think I saw
Okay.
part of it is just like God is love or whatever. And
The one way I think about it is like, how do you know what a meter is or a foot? You need to have a ruler. That's like the definition of it. I think in France they have like a rod or something that just defines like, this is what a meter is.
Do you want me to call my pops?
Yeah. They definitely have like a sphere of silicone.
That'd be huge.
have them on the
like this is
pod.
Call him.
What?
They have
a
this sphere of silicone. It's like
Are you actually
as
calling?
close to a perfect sphere as we can create.
That's super satisfying.
Yeah, it's just, and that's like the definition of a kilogram, if I'm not mistaken. But
ask him what he would define love as.
Bill.
This is a great idea.
This is Bill.
Phil Ski.
Philosophy.
You'll have to remind me what that thing is.
Wait, can you get it closer to the mic?
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
Right there.
He better answer.
Come on, Phil.
Bill, don't let us down.
Love us.
Come on, Phil Ski.
What's he doing?
This is so intense.
It's pizza night.
Oh, choices.
there's
He
pizza.
loves
I don't
that
know,
slice
man.
more than
He does love that slice.
Do they make pizza?
Hi,
Yep.
this is Philippe the guy.
Philippe the guy.
Bill!
He chose the
God,
pizza.
man, he chose- he loves
chose the
pizza.
You know he
pizza.
saw
Sounds
Joey's
good.
call. He's like,
All
yeah,
right.
he's fine.
Ah, he's good.
Hey, Pop, I know you watch these.
Call him out. Call him out.
That pizza was probably pretty good.
Dude,
It is so good.
my mom's pizza's amazing.
Should I
It's
call my dad and
amazing.
see if he picks up?
Do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, call
Do
him,
it.
call him. Get him in here. Ask him how he defines love.
Okay.
Another verse that I'll do.
Dude, if your dad answers, my dad doesn't love me.
Luke 6 says, I don't know how long do you think is
Oh,
going to
he's for sure gonna answer.
okay,
Yeah.
then I'll just
Donald?
wait.
Yeah.
Is it the second time the charm?
Hey,
think it
Milo.
is.
I can imagine what he's going to say.
Yes, here we go.
Hey, Milo.
Buckle your seatbelts.
We need some like filler music
I
or
know.
something.
He might not. Oh, hey, Dad.
Did I not say that was what he would say?
So you're on the podcast right now, Dad.
Good.
That's the best response. Good.
I don't see myself.
Yeah, put it close to the phone.
Oh, okay. Yes, just your audio is going to be on the podcast. Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, what is love? What's the definition of love for you?
Oh, that's suspense.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a loaded
well,
question to just drop on him.
God is love. God showed us what love is. Ultimately, by
Oh no.
so he showed us love when he created us. He created Adam and Eve and the entire universe and this earth, the garden. Adam and Eve sinned, and he had a plan before the foundation of the earth, before the time that he created, to in his love to correct that sinfulness in our human nature that was caused by Adam and Eve's fall, by giving us his only son. So, and his only son who lived a perfect life, who died on the cross for our sins, giving us an opportunity to live with him forever. I mean, the ultimate expression of love. So, what is love? Look to God and his word, and you'll see love.
Well said.
Love really
Wow.
is.
That was really good.
That was
That was
awesome,
perfect.
Dad.
That was good.
Thank you for that.
Perfect.
just off the cuff. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was huge.
You're welcome.
All right, Dad.
I think
Thank
that's-
you. We'll talk later.
Okay.
There's
Have a good night.
Love
there's
you.
so
Bye.
much power to
was
thinking
awesome.
about
That was
that.
sick.
That like all the way back to Adam and Eve. Like there are countless number of times God could have just like turned his back on us, been like, you know what, I'm sick of this, man. Like they keep disobeying me. They keep turning away from me. Why don't I can just turn my back? Or he could like wipe us out and make us perfect.
Just start over on another planet.
Yeah, just completely wipe us out or yeah, just start on another planet and just abandon us. But time and time again, ever since Adam and Eve, like he didn't abandon Adam and Eve and he doesn't abandon us now.
Mm-hmm.
That was Donnie.
That was
Shout out
fire.
Donnie.
That was insane.
That was awesome.
Yeah, think
Donnie's
about
always got the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
what you're saying too, Brandon, is like over all of time and history, and who knows exactly how long the world's been around. I don't. Probably like 3 years, something like that. At least.
At least 3 years.
Yeah.
Like think about everything that's happened in history. All the wars, the deceit, the lies, the
Mongols.
evil, the Mongols. Christ still decided to continue to give us chances. So now think about for your life. He still continues to give you chances. And it doesn't matter how evil you are or how holy, if you want to say, you are. God is going to, he's going to meet you right in the middle with his hand reached out, and he's waiting for you to reach out your hand to accept him. So just something to think about. Do your best to stray away from that evil, from that sin, but run towards Jesus, because he's there waiting, and there's nothing, like I said, you can do or say that's going to separate you from Christ, as long as you are willing to accept him as your Lord and Savior, and then you do one of those, change your life around, and you pursue after Christ. That's super cool. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm a messed up person. I sin all the time, and I'm trying my best to not to.
Fighter.
And it's a beautiful thing, because we don't experience that love here on earth. Like, there's no matter like that mother's love, that friend love, your partner's love, like there's only a limit that we can experience on earth, and that's just a little taste of God's love, just a little bit, a wee little smidgen, and like. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what does, because knowing that you can experience more and more God's love as you get to know him better is amazing. And that's something to look forward to, and that's something, folks, to work for.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Someone had to do like a Noah thing, because we don't have Noah here.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what Noah would say?
Well,
That's such a good saying.
I tried to like do like a Noah accent on there, but
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
There was such a good debate that William Lane Craig had with Peter Atkins. I'm forgetting the guy's name that was like hosting debate.
Also, I want to let the viewers know, my dad did call me back. He was on the motorcycle, so he can't.
Was he having pizza on the motorcycle?
He might have been. He might have been.
Where was he going?
I don't know. He just said we're on the bike.
Oh,
Going for a cruise.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to answer, like, talk on the phone while you're riding your bike.
No.
So
Well, he does have like the headset,
Bluetooth,
but
yeah, that'd be hard to hear him.
It's still not right.
Luke, kind of going off of what you're saying about love, I think that brings up the point of like how powerful it is to love others. There is a Bible verse that 1 John 4:19 says, "We love because he first loved," and I think there's so much power to that. Like, why shouldn't we love somebody? I don't think there's a good definition of why you shouldn't love somebody, because think about all the bad things that you've said to people or done to people, all the ways you've lied or cheated or whatever it is. All of that also affects your relationship with God. Like, yes, you might be hurting a human, but that's also like as like collateral damage, like hitting God in your relationship with God. And so the fact that everything that we've done affects our relationship with God, and he still chooses to love us. Like, why can't we forgive somebody and love somebody who's only done like, a few things, even if it seems like a lot, it's not nearly as much as we've done to our relationship with God. It's like, there's really no good excuse of why not to love this person and why not to forgive them. And that's so much easier said than done. I totally get that.
Yeah, when I'm driving for work, when somebody cuts me off, I do not love that person
Yeah.
at that very moment.
Yeah.
But God would.
Yeah.
God does.
Yeah, God forgives.
Here's something too. So if I was living the same life without following Christ, you betcha I'm not. Why would I go out? There's a squeak there. Oh, why would I go out of my way? Love me for it. So.
I had a squeak. Because he's weird.
He squeak.
So if I'm not following after Christ and I haven't experienced his love, why, when someone cuts me off, why would I choose to take a deep breath, forgive them, not flip them off, not curse them? Why would I take time to hold the door open for someone? Why would I let an older lady go in front of me in the waiting for the bathroom? Why would I choose to have a conversation with that person that's sitting by themselves in that corner? I would absolutely live my life in the most selfish way possible. Like, I'm going to do everything that I want to do. If I don't want to talk to you, screw you. I'm not going to talk to you. Why would I waste my time with another human being in my eyes I perceive as worthless?
You don't know him. You don't like him.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to do everything that I see is fit best for me, that's going to make my life the best it can possibly be. Why would I waste my time? Why would I waste my energy, my words, my money? Why would I give money to a homeless person or a friend that needs to borrow some money? Screw you. Like, that doesn't matter to me. But when you experience the love of Christ and you see and you understand that Christ, he gave his one and only son, he sacrificed him in the most brutal way, in a way that humans can kill someone on the cross, being tortured. He gave that up for us. He gave that up for you, and he gave it up for you, everyone here and everyone listening and watching. And that just opened up my eyes, because if Christ is willing to do that for me, why should I not be willing to love every other person that Christ loves and created? And is it easy? Absolutely not. Not at all. It's one of the most difficult things. Like, it's so easy to be quick to anger and quick to speak. But God calls us and says, be slow to anger and slow to speak and quick to listen. And that's something that's super difficult to master, but it just really changes your perspective on how we should perceive humans and how we should love them. Because without Christ, there's no point of loving people until you add him into the equation. Back to God is love.
Isn't it weird that like every hero in every good story is like a character like you're describing, somebody that doesn't just live for self, sacrifices himself for others, is willing to die for his family or his country. Like every hero in fiction is like a little like shard of Christ's character.
Would you say that those characters, those heroes, were given a gift?
Yeah.
A superpower we consider a gift,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they're, in the top 0.00001%, right, of the population.
Well, anybody can be a hero like that.
Yeah, but let's say like a superhero,
Okay.
or even you could use hero too. But they realize that they were born or they acquired this gift, right?
Okay. Yeah,
and
like
they
a
can
skill.
a skill. So it
Yeah.
could be a skill that all of us could acquire as humans, or it could literally be like the movies that they recognize they were given something, they're blessed with something, and they have two options. They can either use it for selfish desires, or they can realize I was blessed with this,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go out of my way, risk my life to help other people because I was blessed.
But that second option there is the love that we all have access to. Anybody can make that decision, even if you don't have superpowers.
Absolutely.
And that's what we like heroes for. It's not that they have the superpowers, because if they don't use them properly, they become villains.
So then, someone that would ask, why would I need Jesus in my life if I already am like a good person that loves everyone, that like lives a good life? They're selfless. They're all these different characteristics.
Yeah.
And like, why would they need Jesus in their life then?
Because you're not actually a hero. You may think that you are the hero of the story, but the more you live life, the more you realize you are also a villain. You also have sins that you can't free yourself of.
You either live
Yeah.
long enough to die. You either die hero, or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yep.
Dark Knight.
Shout out to the
Oof.
fact that
Oof.
these three have
That is-
2 copies of The Dark Knight.
Not
just
one.
in case that one gets
Two.
scratched.
We're working
or
on
something.
3.
Dude, when
you
the
never
fallout
know.
happens, we're gonna be set.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Just
don't
try to
Get
keep on
Steinhoffels.
repeat.
Don't you guys just think that that's weird that like
It is.
where the characters that we value are not the ones that like evolutionarily would make sense. Remember Cliff Connectley, he was talking about, or it was his son actually, was talking about
Stuart?
how Stuart was saying in
Stuart.
the podcast, like, why not just live for yourself? Why not just live to like
Yeah.
further your offspring? Why would you have care for others? Like that doesn't really make sense that we like characters that are self-sacrificial and do things that are not in their own genetic offspring's best interest.
True, but I think we can all agree on the idea that we like the idea of being saved. So like, where do you think superhero movies like stem from, right? You have people in a city or a planet, wherever they're at, and there's some kind of evil, some kind of villain that's going on, and these people can clearly not save themselves. And all of a sudden, someone flies in, someone drops in, whatever it is for the hero. They're there to save them, and everyone loves that superhero because they realize, I can't fight these aliens. I can't fight these
Yeah.
these evil, whatever it looks like. Like, I can't do this on my own, and we're screwed. but we have this opportunity to be saved from this hero, and like that is what, in a way, like God is.
Yeah.
He's the superhero in our lives, and that's a nice little intro to our point 5 for a little
was
sneak
gonna say
peek for
that.
the
18.5
point
next week.
And
Let's
it's,
check
it's
it out.
not it's not self-interest either. Like, remember Syndrome? Obviously,
Syndrome.
Brandon knows Syndrome from Incredibles.
No,
Obviously.
no,
Like,
no.
why
I'm a
does-
new super.
Yeah, why does he?
I'm Syndrome.
Why does he?
Sorry.
Why is he saving people?
because he wants
To look
he wants
good.
to look he's out of selfish desires. He started off
Yeah, and he also wants to destroy the idea of superheroes. Like, he
'Cause when
wants
everyone's
everyone
super-
exactly.
because he
No
wasn't
one
loved
will be.
in the way that he should have been loved.
Yeah,
It goes back to that.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah.
when he tries to get to be on Mr. Incredible's team, like he wants that praise and approval, like, hey, I can be here to help you.
Mhm.
And Mr. Incredible literally just pushes him aside. And that breaks his heart.
but
Can't trust
And he, over that, like
anyone,
he tried and tried.
especially your heroes.
And he grew to hate Mr. Incredible.
yeah,
And that created a villain because he wasn't raised in the right home. He didn't have the right friends around him. He didn't have the right community, the right church.
Mhm.
And he went down a path of love that the world showed him,
yeah.
and not the path that he should have been shown that reflects from God.
But Jesus isn't like that. He's not doing it out of self-interested desires
Correct.
or the desire to like destroy the idea of heroes, or he's not doing it out of any selfish motivation. He's doing it out of love.
Yeah.
He sacrificed himself out of love. And
Think-
that's why he's the ultimate hero.
Think about, I want to make sure I'm not out of context here, but think about God. Like he created us. He's the Lord of the universe. What does he have to lose?
Yeah.
Right. All he wants is a relationship with us. He wants that love returned, and he gives us the option. If you want to go live your life as a villain, you want to go, not follow him. That's your choice that God gave you because he loves you. He has absolutely nothing to lose. He can literally do anything he wants. And once again, if I'm out of line here, correct me. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I totally understand what you're saying. I do want to just kind of tone us back a little bit. I don't want to call people who aren't Christian or who don't believe in Christ like villains or like they can't have love.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
Thank you
I
for
do
that.
believe that everything that we have and like can experience, you can experience as let me back it up. I believe that the love that we have, like for people around us, like you can have that as someone who doesn't believe in Christ, and they're not like villains. They do live a life that's maybe for themselves or for a false god. But when you experience the love of Jesus, that's kind of when you're saved by like the true hero, because in Christianity, it is all about love, and it's about love and not about the things you do, because we're saved by grace and not works. And it's like Jesus is like a superhero that never asks for anything and just saves. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here.
No, I
But-
think that's good. That's a good thing to mention, because the idea of giving your life to Jesus is so different from any other religion. Like pretty much every other religion, it's some form of like earning
Of works.
your salvation,
Exactly. That's what I'm trying
earning
to
your
get at.
way to nirvana, earning your way to
Valhalla.
Valhalla, whatever it is. It's up to you. And Christianity is very just different from any other religion in that it says you can't. Sorry, you can't.
Yeah.
And if people are being honest with themselves, they will know that at a certain level that they actually can't. That you can't be righteous. You can't be perfect.
That's what I love about
do you love it?
Jesus, the Jesus
How
kind
much?
of love. I love it so much, Luke, because
Tell him.
that's in that same verse. It talks about how like you can't brag about the love that you receive because it's already been given. That verse. Let me look it up. Oh, God, fine, you guys. I'll just look it up, dude. You don't have to beg me. For it is by grace. It is by
Well, it looks it up.
grace.
Joe, do you have any more questions you want to go over?
No, I was just gonna wrap it up. I was just gonna share my social thing and then just be
There
like,
it is.
yeah.
You
Let's go
And
from
then we
there.
got some listener questions we can
yeah, let's do that.
go over at the very end.
Yeah.
So
You want to check the specs here?
check the
Is that,
check the
is that what's
specs.
happening? Okay. So Ephesians 2:8-9 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. And this is what I'm trying to get at. Not by works, so that no one can boast. I love that because we're all equally loved, and we all have that same amount of love, and we earn it equally. So I can't say like, I earned my love more than somebody else because I did works or because I'm like a Christian or something. Like God loves every single one of us, believers and non-believers. And like, I can't boast.
Well said. I love that. So, I've been doing this thing. It's like I'm calling it like a social experiment where I'm putting myself in a social setting. I'm telling you this just to like encourage you guys to try and do your own version of it. But like I've been going to this park that I've been loving to go to. There's a disc golf basket there, so that helps too of going there. But beautiful hiking trails, and then there's this quiet spot in the corner. And like I've been wanting to do this for a while of like I just didn't know how to do it, but I just knew I needed to like jump in and just start doing it. So if anyone's on the fence about starting something new, just go for it. You can fail, right?
Fail, fall on your face.
Yes, fall on your face.
Hamster wheel, right? I watched that clip.
you know the clip.
Yeah,
But the gist of it is I just sit on the park bench, and then whoever walks by, because there's like a walking trail that goes right in front of the bench, and whoever walks by, I ask them if they have 10 minutes to just talk. And I had some people say no, and they kind of got a little awkward of like, oh, like I had to go to my car, this and that. Like,
do you really?
I'm just, I'm genuinely curious, and like whoever will stop by, like clearly that was meant to be type of thing. That's the way I see it. Like whoever will take the time to talk to me. So I just asked them a few questions. So like my opening question like is what is love? And then that question is like you said when you asked your dad, it's like, well, it's like a heavy question.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the first person, her name is Ariel, the first person that I asked her, and she's like, wow, I don't think I've ever had anyone ask me that. So like right away, right, it got the wheels turning. Mm-hmm. And she gave her answers, and then the next question is how do you show love to others, and like examples of that. And it's not like I'm setting this all up to be like, oh, gotcha, now I can tell you about Jesus Christ.
Gotcha.
Like, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that, but
Take
it's
the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Come here, boy.
And it, like it's not like I'm trying to be preachy, and I don't think it comes across that way. Like that's what I said to her. I'm like, I'm not trying to be preachy, but like, do you know who Jesus Christ is? She's like, yeah, like I grew up Catholic, this and that. I was like, okay, well, like how do you know him? Like what's like your relationship is more of what I was asking, and just to see like if people are willing and open to talk about Jesus. So like, I think we need to. This is just like an encouragement to be. What's the word? Just
bold.
Be bold
Yeah.
and uncomfortable.
Step out of your comfort zone. Yeah.
Obviously, talking to people in public is not outside of my comfort zone
Scary
at all. But like, it is scary when you're talking about Jesus, because you're like, oh, this person could, have had a really bad experience in their life, whether it's within their church or with just friends or whatever. But it's nice to just to see where someone's at, and to show and to tell them at the end of it, like I opened up with, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, that like Jesus loves you no matter what. And just like that reminder and just that little bit of push, of I need to be uncomfortable as a Christian in order to, maybe change someone's life. Because, the conversations I had with some of the people were really good. And like, you can tell that like those questions are not being asked, and people just aren't taking the time for people anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like a lost art. So that's like why I'm trying to do that more often. So I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm just going to keep doing it. And it's just kind of like my push to you guys to try to do something, outside of your comfort zone.
And that right there too is like that whole example is really cool. Like that was really cool to listen. So thanks for sharing that. And that's definitely encouraging.
I'll shut up
No. That was amazing. That was super encouraging, because that is such a good example of why would you go and do that? Why would you take time out of your day, out of your life, to talk to these random people you're most likely never going to see again?
Yeah.
Like what is the point of that? there's absolutely, if God is not in that equation, there's absolutely 0 point of that.
Yeah.
But that's
It's just me talking.
yeah, like it's just you're just being
being a weird person.
yeah, just like
just
but with you experiencing the love that Christ has shown you,
Yeah.
it is then making you get that feeling, that urge, that
Mm-hmm.
call to go to that park. And that's not like we were talking about this the other night. Like it's not a coincidence.
Right.
Like God placed you two there at that perfect
Mm-hmm.
time in history. Out of all the years, out of all the time, out of all the places in the world, right there at that time. And maybe she takes absolutely nothing away from it. But
Sure.
maybe she does.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the thing. Maybe she does.
Yep. And that's the hope, is that like any small interaction like that could be a huge difference in someone's life.
Well, good for you, dude. That's the Great
Yeah.
Commission right there.
And
That's
right. And like I'm not like trying to seek praise, but more of just like a push to you guys, like
No, but remember, taking praise is humility. Remember? Oh, I got you. Tree trap. He ate the cheese. Or mouse trap, not cheese trap. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Tree trap.
That's actually a funny inside joke I have with friends, but
Oh, really?
yeah, it's funny that you said
trap
I can't
you have
speak,
there?
dude. It's a cheat. I'm trapping your
cheat trap.
trapping your crap or something. I don't know.
Sure.
But no, good for you, dude. And I think that's so powerful. That's something that, yeah, I feel very called to like be more bold in my faith and go out of my way to talk with people about that.
Let me ask you this though: do you think like a year ago Joey would have done that? Like have that
No.
push? Like I can talk
Less
to anybody,
likely.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But like a year ago, where I was at with my faith is like completely different, and having Bible study and this podcast is like changed me in like crazy ways. That Milo and I were talking about that on the way home from the bachelor party, of like how like we're all in each other's lives for like a specific purpose and the perfect timing, because God's using us all individually and together,
Yeah.
because we're the 5 best friends.
Yeah, because think about if the trumpets were to like sound, I just think about, I think it was Cliff Connectly that said that, like, are the trumpets going to sound and then you're going to turn to God and be like, oh, sorry, like I was just kind of waiting for the perfect time, or I was just kind of waiting for, it to be comfortable or
Yeah.
not awkward.
Yep.
And there's never really going to be time. And now the trumpets are sounding and they're left behind because, and it's not all on you. You're not the reason why people turn to Jesus.
Right.
You can like plant a little seed, and then if they choose to give it attention, then God will grow that seed. But
And
yeah,
time is so short. Time is incredibly, incredibly short. And remember that and use that to motivate you, because go and do things like that. Like get uncomfortable and grow. And it outside
Definitely worth
of like faith too, like anything like school, sports, relationships, like those are all good things. Like you have to get uncomfortable to grow, but time is so short. Like don't waste it. Christ loves us, so let's go and love other people the way that maybe they've never experienced before. Maybe they grew up in that home. Maybe they didn't have that community, those friends. Maybe they've had really bad experiences and they never got to experience some of the love that we might have been able to. And God's calling us in certain areas and at certain times, and just like go for it. And you know what? If it's a bad conversation, good. If someone makes fun of you, good. If you fall on your face, great. Because you can get back up again. God's going to reach out his hand and he's going to have you just get right back after it. And you're going to grow, and hopefully other people are going to take something away from that.
Something goes wrong. Good.
That
I
was
was
such a
gonna
good
say,
video.
I feel like we're like a football team or a basketball team about
We'd
to
be
go
so
play.
good. We'd be the best.
And like this is our
The
speech. This whole podcast has been our speech before the game. We just missed the game.
Our team name is Honey Badgers.
Honey Badger.
I wanted to say
Yeah.
what you talked about how a year ago you wouldn't have done that. It reminds
Yeah,
me
yeah.
of that C.S. Lewis quote from Mere Christianity, where he's
What's
like, I said it in the chat, but he's basically says like, when God comes into your life, it's kind of like you're a house. And
Oh,
God
yeah.
starts like cleaning up a few things here and there, like rearranging the cabinets or something like that. Then he starts like hammering down some walls, and it's like kind of painful. But God has a plan, because he's
Oh, yeah.
he's not just building a nice house; he's building a mansion
Yeah.
or a palace. I think he uses the word palace is so much cooler.
Yeah,
But yeah, that reminds me of that idea.
yeah. Kind of going back to what you're saying about being bold, like that's also biblical, that we have to be prepared to answer people's questions. And I think that should be some motivation for us to spend time reading the Bible, being in community and all that, because like, yeah, maybe the Spirit fills you and you go into a conversation and you just kind of see where it goes. But I think it definitely helps when you're prepared and you have, different tools equipped to bring up in conversation. And that's just so much more motivation to like prepare for those conversations.
Absolutely. And speaking of preparing for answering questions, unless you have anything else.
No, that's it. That's all she wrote. Thanks for listening to me ramble.
That was
folks.
great. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Folks.
So we actually got I'm excited. We got a couple of listener questions. So that's super exciting. So we are going to.
Here's Joey and I.
They logged into other people's accounts and hacked them. So the first question that I have from a listener is, let me get this pulled up here.
Check the specs.
Can you say their name or no?
Yeah,
I'll keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
It'll be more exciting.
Say the first letter of their name, but then do the next letter in the
all right, so it rhymes with this.
Oh,
this is how you spell it.
Yes.
So one of the listeners, their question that they had is, what are your favorite books, Christian, but also any others?
The Lord of the
Proverbs?
Lord of the Rings.
yeah, definitely Proverbs. I guess I'm starting.
Go for it.
Trilo.
Okay.
Cook.
Yeah, Proverbs, Mere Christianity, Where the Conflict Really Lies by Alvin Plantinga is a really good philosophy book. Reasonable Faith by William Lane Craig is another really good apologetics philosophy book. Chronicles of Narnia, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, buddy.
I thought you just meant books of the Bible. That's my bad.
It could be that. Yeah, they're
Okay.
asking. It could be books of the Bible.
Okay,
it could be
okay.
Christian-based books. It could be sci-fi. Anything.
Soy foy.
I would say for a long time, I absolutely hated reading, but the past year and a half, I've for sure gotten more into reading. And I would say my favorite book I've read so far that's a Christian author that wrote it is going to be The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. And it's just a great book of really teaching you how to take a step back in this fast society that we live in, of just fast pace, and learning how to slow down, say no more often to the world, and to making yourself busy and learning how to listen to Christ. So I highly recommend that. And then Lord of the Rings, I'm on The Two Towers. I'm really enjoying that so far. It's like, I tried reading that years ago, dude, when I was probably like 12, and there's no way. A homeschool me? No way. So, yeah, those are probably my two top right now.
Oh, anything by Michael Crichton. Not Christian, but like any Michael Crichton book. So like Sphere, Jurassic Park, Timeline.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
I
dude,
love
Jurassic
those,
Park
those
is so
books are
good.
so good. You guys, like, they're techno thrillers. That's like the genre. It's like there's a lot of technology speak in them. Every book is about some like new technology.
That's pretty cool.
Not a Christian recommendation, but like those books are so good.
Yeah, anyone that likes to read.
I re-listen to the audiobooks like all the time.
Probably manga for me. No, I'm just joking.
Have you ever read manga?
Bits and pieces,
Okay.
but I'm just joking.
Do you have a favorite
That's not
book? Or
Christian. I haven't read a whole lot of Christian books, but I would just say probably influenced by you, Proverbs. It's a book of the Bible. It's probably my favorite just because wisdom is the main topic that Solomon talks about. And I think wisdom is just such a powerful tool, kind of like what I was just saying about when you come to conversations. If you have wisdom and you've studied the Bible or whatever, you can just come at those situations just kind of with just like a clear headspace on how to approach those. It's just a really good way to have conversation.
absolutely.
Cool. For me, Praying the Promises of the Bible. This book has been really helpful for me because I always was someone who struggled with praying, and it's just like a nice little guideline. It gives you like a prayer to read, and then it's like off of the prayer, there's like two to three verses that it gives you at the end. So for like a Christian book, and then obviously Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the appendices right now, so I'm at
Oh, that's so cool. I'm excited for that.
Aragorn and Arwen's like after
Okay.
after
You're at the very end.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, those
I eventually want to read through the Harry Potter books too.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
those are gonna be long reads too.
Wes, you got any?
Probably just Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I just don't read.
That's okay. That's totally fine.
I'm kind of with you there, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying it though, and I know
I'm
like,
trying
so far
it.
you've enjoyed it. So
I've read like a couple chapters of the Hobbit so far.
Nice.
You do a lot
So-
of driving though, so if
Yeah,
Audiobooks.
I need to do
wanted-
audiobooks. Yeah.
audiobooks, I bet you would enjoy it,
You should
There are
recommend
some
me
that-
some.
Oh, yeah.
some audio stuff.
dude. My Audible has like probably 150 books in it.
Dang.
I haven't listened to all of them, but like I've listened.
he has.
I
He
definitely,
definitely has.
So do
on
you
my
have to buy
Audible,
those?
I think I have 2 months of listening time.
You have to buy them?
Dude, I listened to a few like
you
Star Wars
subscribe
Audible
and then
books.
you like use credits on
Yeah.
them. What?
That's
Sorry.
sick.
I was just gonna say I listened to a few like I think they were Audible, but Star Wars, and they'll add like sound effects or like music in the back.
Did you
Like
listen
they'll
to the
use
Thrawn books.
no. It was the Ahsoka and then the Lords of the Sith,
Okay.
and they actually use like sound effects
be
and like
cool.
the original music. It's so good.
Yeah, there's a
what is
theatrical
happening?
there's a theatrical Lord of the Rings that's
That's the
really
one I
good.
listened to as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
dude,
that
that's
one's
so
good.
sick. You yeah,
Yeah.
because like those books are so much more dense than the movie in
Yeah.
the movies.
Yeah.
So like when they actually like sing the songs or like I don't know, it's just.
I hate
I mean,
the
I don't like the
songs.
songs.
I hate the songs.
plus 30
sorry.
seconds, plus 30 seconds. I'd like skip through them
But
and do like 5
but
minutes.
the like Gandalf versus the Balrog in the book.
yeah,
I
they
was
play like the original music.
and it's so close to the movie. That's what I really
Yeah.
liked about it. Is like the movie really stuck to the book for that scene because it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
That there's very. I mean, there's obviously some differences, but it's like very close.
Yeah. That's a book that I like. Lords of the Sith. That one was dope. Dope.
All right, good stuff. That was some good books recommendations. Hopefully, some people can try it out. We have another question. It's gonna be probably a little bit tougher. It says, "Have everyone tell one thing about themselves no one knows."
Oh, jeez.
Whoa,
Milo?
that's
We're
like
the same.
nothing.
We are the same person.
This is
Wow.
a tough one.
Have I ever told you guys I'm Filipino?
No. Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Huh? White?
Yeah. No, Filipino.
Wait,
Not
that,
white.
Like, that no one knows in the podcast?
Yeah, right. Like nobody knows.
Like nobody.
I guess no one knows.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
You guys know like everything. That's so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard. for
Yeah, with these
guys to
three.
say anything.
You'd be like, yeah, I already knew that.
Uh,
Dude,
That's
I'm
so tough.
so vanilla. I've gone skydiving before.
I
don't
knew
know.
that.
I actually didn't. Wait.
it.
False.
You guys-
No, I didn't.
False
know that.
answer.
Yeah.
But that's something that like other people wouldn't know.
Oh, here's one. You may have not have known this part of it, but Tony Hawk came to a local skate
I knew
park.
that.
You knew that, but you didn't know. Well, maybe you did. You didn't know that I took a picture of only his butt.
I didn't know that.
Wait.
no,
man.
I didn't know that. So that can be an answer.
But yeah,
Why'd you only take a picture of his
I
butt?
didn't get a picture of him. I only got a picture.
So
of
you
so
did. I
amazing.
do remember you telling me.
Dang
Okay.
it! So proud of that. So yeah, shout out Tony Hawk.
This is tough.
Tony Hizok.
His off. Phew.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a tough one.
I know.
That
Should we?
nobody
uh,
knows.
I don't know. Should we just wrap it up?
I wanna
There's
think
no
of
way
one.
I'm gonna think of
we're just
something.
gonna be
While you
sitting
think there's
here.
one more question.
Okay.
Man, I'm getting called out. It says, Luke, why have you been skipping the gym?
Wait,
Uh-oh,
what?
you've been
Calling me
skipping
out.
The gym?
I'm not skipping the gym.
You're going.
I've been going at different
You are-
Who
different
said that?
times.
You want to get things skinny? Just kidding.
Because I'm busy. I come home and I go to the gym after it gets busy because there's too many people there right now. But I've been skipping sometimes a little bit, but not a whole lot. So
You guys should come to the
I'm
Lawn
getting
Talk gym. It's
hardcore
pretty dope.
called out.
Is
There's
it
only
dope?
2 members there, but
Dude, did you like cancel my
pretty
membership
cool.
already?
no, you just never signed up.
I did.
It's a $100 fee.
I paid it.
I'm still still waiting.
I got one. I took a Tai Chi class in college.
Dude,
That's
me
huge.
Whoa,
too.
really?
I actually didn't know
What?
that.
Yeah, I took one as well.
Wait, I did know that
Wait.
actually.
Oh, really?
Oh,
But
come on.
it counts. It counts. Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that, so that's cool. Now we have that to bond over. We can practice our forms later.
I forgot all of them.
Oh, dude, I could bust.
It was
out
hard.
Right now, don't you? I'll cook.
It was hard to like hold the positions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe yours was probably different than mine.
No, it was probably exactly the same.
You guys were in
It
the
was-
same
it was-
class.
Yeah, it was easy for you.
Joyce is actually teaching the class.
Yeah, right.
He was shaved back
Shout
then,
out
so
Peterson.
Milo didn't recognize him.
Well, yeah, true.
Westifer?
Hmm?
Any
Well, I mean,
facts?
something that I'll say this for both of us that probably a lot of people don't know is Joyce and I, when we were probably like
Oh, gosh.
6 or 7.
I
we-
already know.
Listen up here, listen up good. We ate sand. we thought
Doesn't
we
know-
thought
know about that.
we thought it was like like the sandy candy.
Oh yeah, I do
The
remember you guys
okay,
telling me
so
about
I
this.
had like this dolphin, I think it was, filled with sand, and it was like the colorful sand and just like a plastic dolphin, right? I had it in my room. Listen up, Brandon. Right, it gets better.
There's
right?
nothing.
So at church, we would go to like the what do we call them? Like the kid blasts. They called them when you were like whatever age. You'd go there and they'd have a ton of candy, and they had this giant foam nose. And it was if you did something, you got to earn to called pick the nose. It was really funny. You got to go in there, you pick a nose, and you pick out like a card and be like, you won a soda or you won an ice cream, whatever it is. And like one of them that we won was like sandy candies. You got to fill up these plastic tubes.
There's so much strangeness in this
Yeah.
whole story.
It's a great story.
Typical
So
church
many-
experience. You just dig your
half
head
Half
up
the
in a
words
Yeah.
you're saying don't make sense.
Okay,
I'm like-
so you picked a giant foam nose.
follow.
You got a piece of paper and you got something like a treat or a dessert that you liked.
Who
so
was in charge?
a
I
lot.
only
The
know
best
'cause
thing was
I
like
was there doing it.
the sandy candy is just literally pure, colorful sugar, and you fill up these tubes
Okay,
and you
okay.
just eat it. And that was the
Okay,
greatest thing
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
So Joyce and I thought, like, oh, dude, this isn't like this is sandy candy.
Yeah.
We both convinced each other that it was the sugar candy,
Yeah.
even though we kind of knew it was sand.
Yeah, we lied to ourselves. We really believed,
then
and
as
we
we were
popped
eating
it back,
yeah.
and we dumped it down, and we were so defeated.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were. It was horrible.
And then our sisters made fun of us.
Yes, they did.
I accidentally ate soap at Grandma and Grandpa's place in Las Vegas.
How did you do that?
I don't remember.
Did you take like a chunk out of it?
I don't know. I don't know if it was liquid soap or if it was like solid, but I just remember like being in their bathroom by the kitchen, and I just somehow like
in Las Vegas?
yeah, I just like accidentally put soap in my mouth.
Huh. There's a funny story of his sister was making like lotion
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
something like in the kitchen of our grandparents' house in Las Vegas. And my grandma just like walked by. She just like dipped her fingers in there and like took a taste. And then she just walked away.
That's such
She-
a power move right
She
there.
said it was good. She's like, "Oh, it's good."
That's
Yeah,
a power move.
she probably just didn't want to like discourage Gigi because she
Yeah.
probably thought that Gigi was
It was like
cooking
food.
and was like, "This is disgusting." But it's like her grandkid, so she didn't want to put her.
Dude,
down.
that's some real love from grandmothers right
That
there.
is some love right there.
Oh my goodness, no matter what, that's some good love. Their cookies, love.
Mm-hmm.
And she could be harsh too. When she didn't
Yeah.
like the food, she's like, oh,
This is too sweet.
Yeah, when grandmas yell at you, I got yelled at my grandma one time,
Really?
but
I don't remember if my grandparents ever.
I was with my two cousins. We were shooting at chipmunks in the water with BB guns,
Oh, that's.
and my grandma came down and this was years ago. Don't worry, like last year. No, it was not last year, but she like but she came down to the shore, our place up north.
To make it very
Dude,
clear,
she
did
sprinted.
ran.
Dude, grandmas when they're on to something, they're fast. She full out sprinted, right? And dude, I've never been so like put in my place
I'm
from my
sweating.
grandma yelling at me. So don't get yelled at your grandma. It's not a good.
for
not a good
shooting
look.
chipmunks.
Well, yeah. So we would catch them, and then we would
That was
like.
the off the cuff comment.
I'm gonna stop there. There was just chipmunks swimming in the lake.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Sweat me bojo.
just for some odd reason.
Some water chipmunks.
So we had to
yeah,
shoot them.
water chipmunks.
Yeah, dude, we had to shoot them.
It's like
Whatever
water
reason.
chestnuts
Same as the sea
optionally.
squirrel.
It turns out my
Invading
grandma.
the sea.
It turns out my grandma. She's not like grandma. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. No, you're not. To upset you. I hope you forgive me. But it was also made a
Well,
funny
she
memory.
loves you.
She does. She does.
So this is
She
me
also.
wrapping it
Well, yeah,
up.
we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up right here. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here with us. It's
was a
getting
smooth
real. It's
transition.
getting real
hot.
warm in here.
Mm-hmm.
Getting sweaty.
But thank you so much for tuning in, listening. We really appreciate all of you. We love all of you. We love all your
Mind it.
support. If you guys see us around at the gym, out in a park bench, like feel free to stop us, talk to us. We'd love to have
Bark
conversations.
at your dogs.
Bark at your dogs. We're going to be asking
What?
more. We'd love to have more Q&A, so feel free to tune in, leave some comments, ask some questions. We can get more time on answering questions. We absolutely love that. But everyone, remember to love others the way that Christ loved you, and do your best to do that.
I'm walking.
But off of that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Campfire Council Podcast.
Where are the dogs? They start barking at us.
Dogs at.